Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video. This video is for you if you've ever felt like you've lost your spark. You know that you're capable of more, but your discipline just disappeared. Maybe you keep making plans you don't stick to. Maybe you don't. You start strong, but then you fail off after 2 weeks or even 1 week. Actually, that's even longer. After 4 days, this video is definitely for you. And I'm going to help you understand why that happens in my best capable abilities and how personally I'm rebuilding my discipline step by step during this 10K sprint, not from perfectionism, but from the mess. Yes, the mess. Okay. So story time. I want to kind of like give you guys how I lost that discipline. So in this case, I used to be the most probably disciplined person in my circle. I would wake up early, gym, work, focus days. And then I don't know what happened, but also because of like disappointment after disappointment in life, time came where I just was like, what is all this for? You get what I'm saying? Maybe I can just like be like any other person. I just felt that. I don't know how to explain it, but I just fell off of my path that I was on. Right? So when life kept on happening, disappointment after disappointment and more disappointment and life happening, I went into the season where nothing really made sense anymore. The pressure, the fear, the self-doubt. I started relying on comfort, which was scrolling, sleeping in late, overthinking. And then before I knew it, the version of me that used to move with purpose was just gone. It was just gone. And it really did take a long time for me to rebuild that version of me, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for you. And sometimes it's hard because that's the reason why we build support structures around us, like family and friends, because when you fall, when you are in that pit, you do have a community around you that can help you come back slowly or bounce back a little bit. But if you don't have that, then that's a tricky one. It's so tricky because you have to rely on yourself. I don't know if you guys know that saying that everyone says that, oh, no one's going to come and save you, right? As hard as it is to hear that, somehow there's some truth to it. And that's why you really have to find a way to build that community, that safety net around you. It's very important through friends and family, right? So one thing that I realized was you don't lose discipline, you just forget the reason for it. So when I started my 10K sprint, I wasn't just rebuilding income, I was rebuilding me, the version that shows up even when no one is watching. That's me. So I think most people think discipline is about like motivation. And it's not. It's about identity. If you tell yourself, I'm consistent, not even telling yourself, if you do commit to yourself and say, I want to be consistent, you'll act consistent. If you say, I'm going to try to be disciplined, you'll always stay on that trying vehicle. God knows until when. 10 years will pass by and you're like, I've been saying that I'm trying. And that's why I really moved away from that saying of like, I'm trying. No. There is no trying. There is doing. There is doing. There is committing. You commit to something and you're like, it's this. This is where we're going. That commitment always pushes that thing within you that no one can describe and just comes out of the surface. So when you decide, I'm that person who does what I said I would do, everything shifts. The truth is, discipline isn't built on big wins. God, I know that so well. It's built in the boring days. boring days like one I've just had today, whereby I felt I only put in at least really good 3 hours of good work. And I felt so helpless to the extent I was like, "Oh, this is not it, you know?" But at the end of the day, I showed up and I put in the work that I know. And this work that I've put in today, it's going to push me tomorrow. And tomorrow, who knows? But I'm committed to making sure that I put in more hours than I put in today. So when it's not exciting, when no one claps, when quitting feels easier, that's when I am learning all over again that boring work is the breakthrough. In fact, it has almost become my mantra right now. Every single time I'm in the middle of the task, in the middle of work, and I feel like it's dragging, it's boring, it's not exciting, like watching series or like scrolling through the phone, I remind myself that this boring work, this that you're feeling right now, that's the breakthrough. That's the sound of breakthrough that you're looking for in your life. Okay. And then that really just brings me back to where I need to be. So here's what I'm doing right now every single day. My 3-step framework to rebuild discipline. You can take mine or you can you refine it from your way of how your life is. But this is it. So step 1, anchor your why. You know, like money should be enough why. But as time goes by, I realize that it isn't a strong why. You need something that's so strong that even when you feel like you can't move forward, your why still brings you back to the reason why you're doing what you're doing. So if your goals aren't tied to the reason that hurts to ignore, you'll keep quitting. So my why is my dad, is my twin sister, and the people watching me, the ones that I will one day help. That's my why. Step number 2, create a non-negotiable, not 5, just 1. For me, I'm showing up to building something every day. And even if it's small in other people's eyes or in other people's capacity in terms of how they're doing things. So you choose one non-negotiable. You're showing up. And one of my showing up is shooting a video on a daily basis until the days are done. But I don't think I'm going to stop because this is so good. So I'll probably continue. But this is one of my whys. And then step 3 is track wins, not perfection. You track wins. So the old me chased flawless execution. And when I say flawless execution, you wake up energized, you meditate, you take your coffee. From coffee, you open your laptop, you start doing work and just like things are just moving and moving. You have your nice lunch, you go to the gym, you come back, you take a shower and then you relax a little bit. Like flawless execution. 8 hours in nonstop of really good work. That was in my head, that was the version of what I called flawless execution. So the new me celebrates consistency. And for me, that consistency is sitting on this desk and getting some work done. Not even like tracking how many hours I've put in today or whatever. I don't, because once you do something out of guilt, if you do work out of guilt or it's a must, then that's not discipline. That means you are operating from a place of fear. And what we want to do here is to move away from a place of fear and move into a place of purpose. So again, because perfection doesn't build momentum, but progress does. Discipline is freedom. And this is hard to hear because when you are disciplined, it gives you freedom. You feel so good about yourself. Like I can't even explain this. If you look at people who are disciplined, the most successful people who are disciplined in not all parts of their lives, but most of the parts of their lives, that's freedom. And most people misunderstand that. They think that is restriction because it's actually the thing that sets you free financially, mentally, and emotionally. Because when you are disciplined, you don't just have to feel ready, you just do it. And over time, you stop doubting yourself because you've built proof and not promises. So if you are tired of just restarting, stop trying to be perfect and start being consistent in whatever form of shape. And if you feel like that is hard, create a community around it. Talk to someone who is also another journey of just the same, which is consistency and discipline, and hold each other accountable. Trust me, it will do wonders. So I'm rebuilding my discipline one day at a time during this 10K sprint. And if you are also ready to rebuild yours, not just for the money, but for the peace that comes with keeping the promises to yourself, then stick with me, because I'm not just telling you how to do it, I'm showing you. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and see you in the next video tomorrow. Cheers.